Today, modern challenge with Amulet. Slim Titan even. It's 61 cards actually because I cut Colossus because I thought to myself, yes, everyone plays consigned to memory. In this format, it is utterly unreasonable to play Cultivator Colossus, but then I thought to myself, yeah, but I really like Cultivator Colossus. And I added it back in the only way possible. For sure worthwhile. But just cutting Mr. Beast like that, extremely sad and painful. Horrible hand. Mulligan. Fine hand. Keep. Put back Echoing Deeps. Done.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Slim Tajton best Tajton.
Blue fetch. Sad. Let's make constructs. Isn't the affinity matchup another reason to play fire magic? I was not bringing fire magic against the affinity deck, so the answer would be no. I haven't played against the affinity deck much, but I have zero respect for it. Like, you just want to sweep their Thopters? Hedge Maze, Solitude, okay. Scalding Tarn, it's not Gorayo, it's not Neoform, so what is it? 5 color? Solitude, just some kind of a bullshit deck, seems like it. Seems like. Yeah, it seems like an Omnav deck. Here we have a small decision. Urza's Cave versus Mycosynth Gardens. Mycosynth Gardens seems way better actually, right? Because I can play the cave on the next turn, but if I want to... If I draw a Titan or GSZ, I will just copy Amulet, Lotus Field, and win. And I'm not Scapeshifting on the next turn anyways. Virtually ever, so I'm just making constructs twice. Maybe it's a Rhino deck. Like, if it's for sure a Leyline Binding deck, there's no other reason to play Xander's Launch in the format. Scalding Tarn, Hedge Maze, Xander's Launch, and Steam Vents, those seem like cards you would put in a Rhino's deck. Maybe it's Glimpse of Leyline Binding without white. Well, they have Solitude in their deck, so I assume they do have white. Nissa. So it could be a fair deck, or it could be a glimpse Cascade deck, right? I never remember the name of that card. Glimpse of Tomorrow? Ideally, I draw something useful. Like an Aftermath Analyst, that is quite useful. Too bad Urza's Cave is in my hand. Float, Copy Amulet, Crumbling Vestige, 2 Landscape Shift, Float Vestige, 1 floating, Scapeshift, T-West, Bounce Land, Lotus Field, Crumbling Vestige. You're not saying there is no kill, but if there is, you would be surprised. I mean, I would be surprised if there isn't, frankly. And then we get back T-West. So I can put Colossus into play. Of course, pitch interaction could be annoying, but... Well, I could also play Lotus Field. Then Analyst. And then I Scapeshift with 4 lands with Analyst already in my graveyard, so that's maybe better because I don't need to not mill my Pacts, right? Lotus Field, 6 mana, sack. Analyst, activate, return. Boseiju, Mycosynth Gardens, Saga. Well, I will need an extra green from somewhere, which I am currently not in the possession of. So, mill a green versus not mill my Pact, so it seems like an easy decision to Scapeshift first then. Opponent ominously holding priority though. Well, if I make the second amulet, then I can't kill my opponents, because my Scapeshift is just 2 lands only. Get Lotus Field, bounce land, Sea West. That is 6 mana. My graveyard will conclude those 3, Lotus Field and bounce land. Yeah, that's enough. Chat, please hope that there is no endurance. Music is a bit low. Music low is good. It's kind of how it should be. Especially given the songs that you request, chat. And I guess we just got to the louder part of the song anyway, so don't you worry. They do play Nissa, so endurance is not impossible, right? But thankfully it was not there. I milled 3 lands with Analyst, including the woodland, so that was also convenient, but not necessary by any means either. What piece of interaction is opponent holding priority for? Well, I'm guessing it's Solitude. They surveyed 1 to the graveyard, which could be a signal that they just had another 1 in their hand and they were like, yeah, I already have Solitude, I'm safe. Which is irrelevant, but people like to hold it. Because occasionally it is a bit relevant, of course, so. I am guessing that my opponent is Solituding. Mr. Streamer, I am surprised. I mean, that means you just have a long way to go and learn about the amulet ways. Which is good, that means you are in a good place. Month with no Titan. From my perspective, it's hard to imagine. Oh no, Alan is going to see that I'm actually playing 61 cards in my deck. And it's not a fully slim Titan. No, Spelunking is speeding things up because I can just put my things into play untapped. I was really impressed with the whole testing process you went through. With the 80 card to 61 card version of the deck, yeah. Truly like an awesome character arc.
He's a phenomenal control player.
My goat is back to hacking looping, suck it neoform.
Yeah, Neoform. I mean, I like Neoform. We will be playing Neoform challenges. Don't you worry, chat. You got mana type twice this much. Congrats. Do you think my opponent was holding a Solitude this entire time to... Solitude, pitch Solitude, no? Villain being a professional time waster. Three times. I mean, that's fine. Isn't it? Could have just Mirrorpool again. Yes, yes. That is also an option. But I feel safer when the original Cultivator Colossus survives. For some reason. Just makes me feel more comfortable. Supreme Verdict incoming. Oh yeah, famous instant Supreme Verdict. Yes, yes. It is incoming this very moment. Siemaneczko Jędrek, co już koniec challenge'a?
He's a phenomenal
Force of Despair incoming. We got hit by Force of Despair actually, but that was a Neoform. It's like when opponents do not scoop to an obviously infinite combo. Such is life. You have to just accept that it is the case. That said, I don't know what my opponent is playing really. But it's probably not a deck where Grazer is good. Let's bring in 6 Dismembers. Second Otawara. Absolutnym czosnkiem. I mean, it could be a combo deck. Alright, boarded random cards up to 64 and now I'm ready to battle. Chat, do you think that behind Canister's very calm and collected demeanor is an ocean of emotions so big that many have drowned? Well, it's a good question, I guess. Let's see what chat says before I will give my own input. Scapeshift nonsense, I think. Scapeshift. I mean, they could play Scapeshift. They played Solid, like we've seen Solitude. They do play Leyline Binding for now. We know for sure because they played Grixis Treeland. Mr. Streamer is actually an I. No, I'm not an I. I've been streaming since 2007, so... when 2017 rather. And back then, there was no I. The depths of Canistra's ocean of emotion could not be plumbed with 14 miles of rope. Speaking of deep oceans, have you guys wondered how crazy it is that they build... holy shit, hand. That they build oil rigs? Is that called an oil rig? The oil platforms?
He's a phenomenal.
And they just build them on
control
the
player.
ocean.
The
And it
only
floats on the
emotion Dennis
surface,
displays is rage
but
when
it's just
somebody
really tall.
GGs him.
Dobra, let's keep, it's good. Hand is fine. Lush Portico. Endurance. Okay, now we know to think about endurance. Let's play Mirrorpool turn 1. A bit awkward. I play Misha's Bauble, and by which I mean Vexing Bauble. That's untrue, back then when you used I, you were cool. Yeah. Alright, they do have Shardless Agent in their deck, so it seems like Vexing Bauble was a good call. Potentially good call. Also, Piędrek, dzięki za suberka. And, well, that's not necessarily the only emotion I feel. It is probably the most intense one. What are we casting? Endurance? Really? Wow. So maybe it is a Rhino deck. Nah, if they play Endurance, it is a Glimpse deck, isn't it? I mean, casting the Endurance is kind of crazy though. You're gonna deal 3 damage and then what? Oh, my hand is, well, 4 Titans, 2 Scapeshifts. It's a Giga Fool, to put it lightly in poker terms. Hopefully, I will get a Bounceland Joker or Crumbling Vestige Joker soon. What's my favorite poker
Phenomenal
2-card hand? I don't know, but my favorite 5-card poker hand is 2 jacks, 2 aces with a king kicker. For a moment you thought it was a hand hider, it is not, no. This is literally what I drew. Care to elaborate? Of course. If you lay the cards on board in a specific order, you get jajka, which is Polish for eggs, which I find really funny. Imagine playing poker with your buddies on a Easter, somewhere around Easter. I was expecting that. And then you just flip your cards and they say jajka.
He's a phenomenal
It's
control
crazy.
player.
Ha 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 Jage Kwenai Muga Pojebi Munir ha ha ha.
Oh no, I milled 3 lands. I mean, in a way it's good to mill 3 lands with your analyst. Pojebi haha. Yours is 7 high, like the most based participant of Season 2 of hit show Devil's Plan. A nie znam, więc nie mam emocji związanych z tym. Jajka, you're pretty and I like ya. Sure? Jajka. Alright, they play Omnath. Draw card. You're supposed to play a fetch. Alright, Spelunking, draw Simic Chamber. Oh, how about that? One-time dealer. Może być Otawara. It's a bit chujowa, but it's alright. Based Elementals gamer. Remember Prison Reef? Thought that was a hand hider, lol. That's the second person who said that. No, I just drew a lot of Titans. Foundation Breaker. Alright, I drew Spelunking so I don't miss my Amulet anymore. They attack, I'll double block. Double block the Omnath seems valuable. Sytuacji, w których serce klęka, ej. Nie wyrwę tej, jak to robi ten ziom, że to jest tak, hej. Could have sub, in which case I get slightly punished for playing a Titan, but I don't know, show me your sub. No sub. Obruch dostanę od drugiego endu? I don't think I will. I don't even know what's an obruch. Obrus? What were you singing? I think the song that was playing, right? 1.8L. Ile dałbym, by zapomnieć? Remember when Omnath was a good card? True. Yeti Kotlety, Syberia piosenka. Holy shit, twice in a row? Good request. Ale jakoś radę da. So if I find Woodland, Vestige, Lotus Field, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. Which means that even if they endurance, I get my lands. Siedem, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yes. Dawaj. Endurance'a. I think we actually did the Obruch thing to the endurance rather than the other way around in this spot. Oops. Right, opponent, you can try again, like, it was pretty admirable. So, I'll give you another chance to try. Dawaj, pitchuj tego Endurance'a. According to Classic FNM Chit Chat, did you see the new +6 CMC card that they printed in green for Titan? Many exclamation question marks. So busted. Holy shit, they did. They keep trying. Alright, opponent's a fighter. Damn, solid. Bro fell for it. It's a way to trick them into discarding their entire hand. Try again, friend. Okay, we have to actually win because I only have 5 minutes. And seeing how much of a fighter my opponent is. Sure, you endurance. Oh, I had an extra analyst trigger on the stack.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Dziękuję za subskrypcję.
Nie, to ja dziękuję za subskrypcję. And for you, dzięki za subskrypcję. Okay. Imagine comboing off with no Cultivator Colossus. Would be slightly less convenient. That's a crazy story, Koaman. I hope your cat will hunt many more moths in his or her life. In that case, to accustom you to this confusing experience. One last Otawara on Endu. It's already gone. This is deterministic. If I get lucky. It's in hand. Well, the endurance, yes. But I can't Otawara it from hand. One could have Elvish Spirit Guide plus Fog. Well, they couldn't, right? It's not legal. So even though the joke is funny, it is also not true. Minus 48. Two Solitudes. Oh, kurwa. Well, one of their cards is Endurance, which I bounced for lulz earlier. Oi, I will mulligan this hand. It is not acceptable to keep. I was trying to find a justification, but couldn't find any. This looks way better. I'll put back the Analyst. Probably. Maybe I put back Grazer. But it said my opponent last has been seen 12 days ago playing Grixis Prowess, so... There would be a reason to keep the Grazer. Malignonium, I like the Peuna Pizda theory more. DCR. This is a bit tricky. Maybe I should cycle like this and get Giga punished. Slightly punished. Because it's still fine. It's still fine. I draw a regular land drop next turn and then I go to Yemen on turn 4. Oh no! Dragon Rage's Channeler into Preordain. The card selection is overwhelming. It's too much. Yeah, or if I don't draw a land, I can Pact for Grazer, which I will do. Maybe I should. Regardless. Do they play Unholy Heat now? Because it's kind of reasonable for them to play Unholy Heat with the popularity of Quantum Rizzler being 6 toughness. And how big of an issue that is if that happens. If I save the Pact, it's to go Titan into 2 Lotus Fields and Analyst next turn. Well, I have time, but I wonder if... Like, I definitely have time, but I wonder what's better if I have time. Like, it might still be better to summon a Titan now, because I have the time to pay for the Pact and West for something, even if I get Unholy Heated. Which I think is the case. Because I also put a Grazer in play, which is just, as they say, good. And most likely they don't have Unholy Heat, and then I just win next turn. In a way that's easier than... holding. Chamber plus Cave to thin my deck out of the Chamber. Is that slightly better, maybe? Fair suggestion. Think you're right. And the cave is already in my graveyard, which could be a benefit in the future. Fair, fair. We're casting Expressive Iteration. Well, that bodes well. We are an Islet. It's gonna be faster to win this turn if I Scapeshift, but I guess there is a probably 0% chance they play Spell Pierce main deck. Although who knows, like maybe it's not 0. Let's check prowess lists. Do we have Spell Pierce? No. There's a sideboard card. In the interest of time, I casted pre-combat. Opponent is a fighter. Mono fighters today. Is Titan the best deck in Modern now? No, it's closer to being the worst than it is to being the best. Something went wrong. Alright, actually I have to attack. Let's go on Holy Head Mill, Vexing Bauble, and... Alright, nothing happens. Am I going to the Pro Tour? No, I am not playing. I have not qualified. Seems like I can't do anything now because I kind of messed up. I thought I had the land drop available. So I was like, yeah, I have enough mana to play Titan or like Analyst back. But then I ended up unable to do so. Silksong has released. Goodbye. Holy shit, it's now. Already? That's crazy. Deep Scopy Cave and a bounce land. Yeah, that's a way. Anyone else in the chat going to play Silksong? The much awaited sequel to Hollow Knight? No. Well, I'm sure I will, but I guess I will not be rushing to play it giga fast. As I was a fan, but not like as big of a fan as some. You haven't played the first Hollow Knight, it's a very nice game, so I recommend you do that if you're into... Well, I guess even if you're not into like this style of a game, maybe you actually think, holy shit, it's good enough that now I am. Because that's been the experience for me. Holy shit, opponent truly is a fighter. Will I play on stream at all? Do you want me to? Maybe I will. Actually. Aftermath Analyst. I analyze. And trying to be fast in the interest of time didn't pan out. I have wasted a bunch of time. You'd watch, perfect. Seems like we have 2 viewers. Almost. Canister wins somehow. They decided it's enough. So normally I haven't sideboarded against prowess at all. I have moons sometimes now. Moons, you say. Do they? They do. Moged. Whoa, 2 abhorrent Oichulus. So you might want to avoid dying to Slickshot Show Off plus Combat Trick, and you can do that by boarding into Dismembers. Colossus is weak into the pile of consigns they will have. Well, will they? Like, it's not clear. They often do. I'm not sure that's good for them to bring, but sometimes consign is good enough to buy you some time. I'll just have 2 Dismembers on the draw. What's the difference between Slim and Fat Titan? The card count. 69 plus, it's Fat. 60 to 61 is Slim. This is a bit slow, maybe. Doesn't improve that easily either. I guess it could. Nah, not easily. I guess I'll keep though. I have Boseiju. Moon maybe. We have the K for 4 HPs from Spelunking. It's not nothing. Ooh, Fotsies, alright. Jump scare Fotsies. Can you advocate for dispute instead of other tech? You can use dispute on blue decks threats or to push your Titan through. The mana for dispute is very optimistic and shaky. So for the most part it's a card you can't cast early, but it gives you, let's say, it expands your range, which is important sometimes in the game of Magic the Gathering, especially when powerful gamers match up in a single battle. Top decking a Grazer, literally best possible. So yeah, you can counter the Fishman sometimes. Not that often, but you will be able to sometimes. You can counter Wheel of Invention Belcher, Tameshi with the Dispute. You can counter Psychic Frog if it lines up. It won't on the draw, but it might. It's technically possible. Let's play the Analyst. You do have to be aware with Dispute that it's really... like, it's not a card that is gonna do all that much for you all that often. And using it to stop your opponent from performing their plan is just not a thing you can rely on. Took my Titan. Taking Titan seems like death. Nice game against the Prowess deck. Stuck on one land. I got Thoughtseize twice, won easily on turn 3 by the way. Really makes you think, right? Really makes you consider the power of Thoughtseize or whether it's well suited to fighting combo decks. Hi, do you think Lizard, Con or Curse will be played in Amulet? Probably not. But I'm saying that mostly after hearing the name of the card. And I don't actually know what it does yet, so based on the name alone, odds are slim. My opponent died and I still could just put all my triggers on the stack. 2 amulets I'll keep. But yes, if I were new, I would play Hollow Knight. Seems pretty similar to Hollow Knight from the little I've seen. Swamp, Inquisition, some interesting decks in the challenge today. I get hit by another discard spell, I don't have an amulet, which is maybe not worth it, but if I draw Explore, I can cast it. Wastes. What's the name of that platform thing attached to people's arms they used in Yu-Gi-Oh anime? dual discs. They were discs and they were used to dual. I guess I'll play Amulet and I will hold to be able to cast Spelunking next turn. It does seem like Shellfish pile, yeah. Magic would be a better game if it had wearable things like that. I mean, for sure. That it has to be said is baffling to me. Maybe I could just actually play Forest and then wait and next turn Scapeshift. Maybe that was better. Didn't think of that in time. Because now there's a chance I will just miss on a green source forever and die. And they would have needed to Thoughtseize my Scapeshift otherwise. Which they might. They might Thoughtseize. When is a big name fashion label going to release a deck box or branded card sleeves? Like Gucci sleeves? Balenciaga deck box? Good idea. Louis Vuitton collab with Riftbound. They already had League and Skin line. That sounds crazy. So I take 6 damage, and next turn I take 9 damage. So I die because I didn't hold. Need to draw a bounce land or Lotus Field. So you know, well, I should probably Pact for a Grazer. Too thin. Probably. Come on. No i chuj mi w dupę i na imię, no. Oj, Witek. I just made a horrible play, so maybe I'll be joining you in no time. Well, I mean horrible. Like, I guess I did not make a genius play. I did not make the 5-head play, but I did do the first step of making a 5-head play. Imagine having an MDFC. This would be the MDFC spot, yeah. It's pretty rare. With only 2 packs, but sometimes Villain's deck plays. Unfortunately, plays Ashiok. This is the list, typically. Dispute. That's indeed a name of a card that interacts with Mr. Ashiok. Grazer seems pretty bad. Hello Kanye, are you going to play Hollow Knight Silk Song? Yes, I will. Like Guvno. Well, actually it's a turn 3 kill. Likely. But I think I'll just play Gardens turn 1. Likely to get discarded, and I have Saga as a threat. Way to pressure Ashiok. I see tu n'existe pas. Devant l'amour. Doing nothing is a very known MTG thing. It is hard to exercise patience in this game, where every card is colorful and just asks to be clicked. And you have to fight against that desire. J'aurais jamais t'aurais perdu. Hablas français? On peut. Not really, though. If you started talking to me in French, I would not understand. This is bug? Oignon in French. Yeah, it's something like that. Or oignon. L'oignon du fromage. I guess I kept a 1 speller. Pretty good against discard spells. Sort of. I do wonder why they play Mr. Emperor of Bones, because it doesn't make that much sense in their deck. I guess they just put creatures in opponent's graveyard with discard spells and then they Emperor of Bones reanimate them. Is that really the plan? Podobają ci się nowe kartioszki ze Spidermana? No w chuj nie, generalnie. Jakoś nie obchodzą mnie one. Nie mam ochoty na nie patrzeć. Mam ochotę, że żadna nie będzie grywalna w żadnym formacie MTGO, co gram. Nethergoyf? That's too much, man. Is this a Bog matchup? Probably not. Dismember matchup? Probably not. Draw something off the top and win matchup? Sounds good. Can't really be Scapeshift with 2 Lotus Fields in my hand, but your Relic of Progenitors will fuck them up. I only have a Soulgate Lantern, which I did not bring. It's just a Value Emperor. No funny business. This is how this deck typically looks. So you just have to Thoughtseize somebody and they have to have a strong creature in hand, and then you take it and then you Emperor it. I think that's the plan. Or Inquisition it, but then I guess it can only be less powerful. Dismember? Really? You have that in your deck? Doesn't seem like I will kill them with a single construct when I have 6 power in play. Question is, do I want to copy my amulet? Do I want a third amulet? Does it help if I draw Scapeshift? I mean, it's fine if I draw Scapeshift. It's gonna mean I have 3 lands. When I Scapeshift and then I just US for whatever and win. Because I have a bajillion of mana. And a 4/4 construct is slightly better than a 3/3/1. I guess I will block their Emperor with construct if they attack, and if they activate, I activate as well, of course, to trade. Okay, 2 lives have been taken. Pithing Needle. Lets them attack. Guess I don't know if I should do that in response, it doesn't really matter. If I draw Scapeshift. I guess if I draw Scapeshift I get punished for copying, because now I can't get T-West and Boseiju and 2 bounce lands at the same time. You do play Dumping Sphere sometimes. I could play Lotus Field. Is it any good for me to do though? I could play Lotus Field, and if they're dead lands, the Emperor. Which means that I have a 4/4 construct versus a 3/4 MTGO. And if they play Dumping Sphere, I have nothing, but I guess I win the race. Technically. Whoa. What happened? Magic Online just closed out of nowhere. It just closed, just disappeared. You're going to relog and find you have a better hand. Hopefully. They are in the opposite order. Something has changed, but not much. I mean, I beat Dumping Sphere if I just play Swimming Grove Chamber and return a Crumbling Vestige. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. If they played Biffing Needle, I think killing them is just not really happening with this single construct. And I'm just so likely to draw something at any point and win. Okay. Skillfully, I have drawn Primeval Titan. And my opponent did nothing. They changed your deck order, yeah. That's what happened. When I was briefly away. Thank you, Maro. Feel like a second Grazer on the draw maybe is reasonable. I could trim a Forest. Forest seems rather unexciting. Quick one. Now that my deck order has been altered, I'll have 2 Grazers on the draw. Well, if they play Dumping Sphere, I don't want to cut Forests. Maybe a Mycosynth Gardens, but that seems bad against... discard spells to cut it. It's just pretty good. So I'll just submit 62 with a Grazer. Since they ran ... Yeah, I also lost the train of thought and I don't know what I was thinking about. Fortunately. They keep 7. Is this a matchup where Spelunking is good enough to keep, plus Saga? Yeah, Barrow down for Goives. I think it is not enough. Like, I don't care enough about that. Let's do it this way. I want to play Spelunking on the next turn and then Saga. Have Saga as an option later. Break the ice. In that case, I have to play Saga now. Which is also good that we saved Saga from breaking the ice. Because that would be like a disaster if they get to kill Saga with it. Bro, if you ash at me, I will be sad. Dumpling Sphere? Sure, bro. You're wasting my time. 2 Lotus Fields drawn. I don't want to bounce Saga back. No. Doesn't seem like it. Maybe I could play the Boseiju. That way I can bounce it back to my hand. What's my Titan? That's sad. Now they can play the Bone Man and take my Titan. That's brutal and gruesome. Construct. Titan get 2 if near dead lands. Oh no. That's too much, man. That's way too much. Tank, tank, tank. Summon Titan. Unsurprisingly. Well, 4 if near dead lands. Urza, Saga, and then Temple. Nihil Spellbomb. So now they'll get if near dead lands. Perhaps. Tolaria West. Bit of an annoying draw, but I guess it's fine. Because now I have to pass with Pact in hand, which means that discard spells can hit me. Also, they could summon a humongous Kozilek's command, which might be a problem. They can make constructs. They are small. I guess let's not F6. We can respond to kurwa, Fotnot Sir pierdolony. No nie, no jak przegram z mono to chyba wylogowanie na tydzień z mono, nie? Opponent's deck is kind of cool. I disagree. It's horrible. They do have lethal damages right now with constructs plus if near deadlands. They don't even need if near deadlands. You probably would have won with the good blue deck. Yeah, for sure. Very Da Vinci thing to say. Piffing Needle. Boseiju, who endures? Just draw better next time. Well, so like I had an opportunity to just win game 1, which I threw, which is why losing the match to this horrible deck is going to fill me with more regret than it would have otherwise. That's my entire issue, chat. 2 needles? Whoa. Which involved not playing my Crumbling Vestige for no, well, for a reason. Reason being playing out my Spelunking, but should have just held it, play the forest, and then the turn after just win. Go for the win. Insane to lose against this shitty deck. It is, yeah. Will I need 5 minutes alone at the end of the match? I will. Honestly, I will, yes. I need some time to process this. I keep 7 though, and hope for the best. Is this a turn 2? It is, yeah. I play Amulet, then next turn I play Amulet, play Lotus Field, play Titan, win. The third amulet is not even necessary. But my opponent can go ritual. Wow, turn 2, reckless impulse. Crazy. Bro showed up with a play toy to a gunfight. Kurwa. Isn't this ironic? Like rain. Chat, is rain on a wedding day ironic? I think I've seen internet discussions about this before. No, it's just bad luck. What if there is just like such an innate and clear conviction in your mind that your wedding day is going to be beautiful? Don't think the rain cares. Figures. You wish it is, make all near possibility to have a good weather, but I see no irony in having rain. Then it's curious that Alanis Morissette finds it, right? No smoking sign on your cigarette break. Isn't this ironic? I guess she asks, isn't this ironic? It's not like clearly implied that she thinks it is. Or is it? Good etiquette from Eric here. If a combo player gets a turn to kill, they just desire to go through the phases because it's so rare that it's enjoyable to actually click through your win conditions. Isn't this ironic? Well, Alp, you could stare at a clock ticking down instead of watching me combo off. Which one do you prefer? Ah, it says kurwa. Am I clicking the wrong one? Weird. Isn't it ironic that they combo and they play combo themselves? No, it is not, because as I said, it is in good taste to let your opponent combo. It's in good taste. We won game 1 against Storm. Now the troublesome part is winning the match. I guess I have 7 sideboard cards against Storm. The annoying part is that they tend to play so many Orim's chants nowadays that Scapeshift is just kind of bad against them. Frequently. Which is very unpleasant. On the other hand, it just wins the game when it does, so it's Summoner's Pact that's really bad. Streaming on Summoner's Pact is kinda silly though. If we investigate opponent's last seen list, has 5 silences. Yes, 5. 4 Orim's chant, 1 silence. Funny how a chant is called silence. True, I guess it's kind of the opposite. You're chanting and it is not silent because you're making a sound. Isn't that ironic? Or isn't it? Wait, so chat, can you give me an example of an ironic turn of events? If it's not rain on a wedding day, then what is it? Being on the play with Storm and losing turn 2 to Amulet is a little bit ironic, I guess. Would it be more ironic if I lost? If I was on the play with the turn 2 kill hand and my opponent would put Gemstone Caverns into play and killed me on turn 1? Meeting someone in the finals that you lost to and winning the challenge, that's ironic? Interesting. Because I tried to think about it just now and I recall the arguments used against the "Isn't this ironic?" song. And I just realized that it is possible, it is quite possible that I simply don't understand irony either. Because I kind of don't understand. I don't understand what would be ironic and what wouldn't be. Juxtaposition of what on the surface appears to be the case with what is actually or expected to be the case. Irony is the firefighter's house burning down. I mean, so then why? Then what's wrong with rain on the wedding day? Dude, Wikipedia is ruthless. What makes you think it's ruthless? He described a dramatic character who pretended to be less intelligent than he actually was in order to outwit boastful opponents. I guess I have a Vesuva. Probably burning down the house part. Well, probably, yeah. Canister, if I see you in person again, will you sign a card for me? Not only will I, but I will do that happily as well. I haven't signed any cards in a hot minute, so I'm actually longing for that. The last time I signed a card was probably in Las Vegas. Do I sign body parts? Not usually. I think I never did, actually. It's often joked about, but never actually requested. The closest to signing a body part was when one person came over to me and asked me to write something gachi related on their copy of a dress down. So I think Well, I think they only had a pen, and I only had a pen on me as well, so I think I used a pen to write "Oh my shoulder" on it. Oh my shoulder. Tank, rozpierdolę ci twojego tutaj ojca. Dobra. Essence is ironic. This Primeval Titan. I guess I can Titan next turn. Spelunking, put Lotus Field into play, then Vesuva copy Lotus Field, Titan attack. Hold that Bog. What's gonna make it turn 2 besides another Amulet? My hand. Even a second Amulet wasn't making it turn 2, I just kept a shit hand. Turn 3 hand with no interaction against Storm. Which I guess if you put it in those terms, could make you want to mulligan. Grapeshot, Pass and Flames, those seem like poor hits. Alright, this would be an ideal moment to draw a Scapeshift. Not too bad. The issue is it's either Bog or Boseiju. So I guess I choose Boseiju. Their graveyard seems kinda bad, and if they don't have a reducer, it's gonna be fine. I don't even win next turn necessarily. I don't think there's anything better to do. I mean, Bog into exiled free draw spells. If I hit the Red Medallion, they go Ritual, they go Fetch Mountain, play Sunbaked Canyon, they have 5 mana, Ritual, past Ritual. Doesn't seem like they're getting anywhere with no reducer. And I have Dismember for Sral. So I think Sorcerer Speed Bog is kinda bad. So draw step. Seems the wisest to use Boseiju in. Set of Kaiba tokens you use as soldiers. Now, let's think. What decks use soldier tokens? Draw step? No, no draw step. Shiji. I mean, I shouldn't dismember it now. What are the odds that villain flips? Since I waited, I guess that it's non-zero. Have I considered playing in the Toulouse Duel Commander tournament? No, not in the slightest. Wish, Rens Resolve, Ravi Medallion? Bro, Eric is playing like a random League Storm opponent today. Is there something wrong with your health? Yeah, Hugo Fritka, it is not. So it seems to me like villain has no castable cards in exile right now. This should be gone now, right? This is exiled for good. Can be cast until the end of your next turn. Why? Oh, okay, that's the hit from It's a hit from their last Trends Resolve. Well, it's a good start. Glimpse the impossible. Can I win then? Attack. My one short. No, I'm not. I can transmute pre-combat, right? I can play Crumbling Vestige, transmute, have free up, play fetch T-West. Yes. Get Analyst. Yeah, seems good. I can't go to Yemen. I'm an analyst. I'm only human.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Minus 27 more billion lol.
Lul. Thank you very much, Lizardface No Space, for your continuous support and for spending 27,000 more billion on my stream. That way I am able to wake up in the morning, go to Lidl to buy daily groceries, but then come back to my desk and play Magic the Gathering for all of you, which I do roughly for 3 hours per week lately, but it's good. Dawaj kurwa, Erik. GG's. Basically unemployed. I'm not a weak user for a week myself. Sol Odin 1, quietly collecting points for a while. Last message 2024, talking about Storm's Wrath. Goodbye. See you. Admirable courage. If you had a bowl of 1000 grapes in front of you, a random one will kill you. Each one you eat gives you $100,000. Do you eat any? I would eat one and then reconsider. I ate 1000 grapes. No, you can't say that on Twitch. Use it to buy Death Grape detection machine. The Death Grape detection machine costs $1 billion. That would be a twist. Kurwa, no i muszę mu cofnąć to co gówno. For 0 money, 1 in 1000 seems risky. Does seem risky, yeah. Getting in your car is probably riskier than 1 in 1000. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. I wonder how many times have I gotten into my car lifetime, but might have been 1000 times. Nah, probably not. I don't drive daily. More like weekly.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Is 70 considered slim for Titan nowadays?
Yeah. Well, no, 70 is like medium slim. It's like... it's good. You live in the US, so it's pretty close. Lol. Accident rate per entering car. US. 1.26 death per 100 million vehicle miles traveled. That sounds safer than 1 in 1000.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Opponent seems unbothered by my GGs. Plus win turn 2 on game 3. This is game 3. Or I won game 1, so it's game... like there's no more games. Don't worry. Freed from desire. How do I actually kill? I don't, I just Boseiju everything. And hold up infinite Boseiju, Otawara, Bojuka Bog shield. And strip my opponent down to basics. Throw that wasteland to the deck would be pretty good, yeah. So many forests in that deck. Four mountains is crazy. It is kind of crazy. The story of Mr. She-Eating Lions recited in Mandarin Chinese. Did I know that more cards were printed in 2024 than in the entire 90s? I actually did not know that stat. You would keep this one? On the draw, it's way too bad. If I could play Explore on turn 2, this is way better. Unique shows cards printed only once. Well, but also not always. If a card has multiple prints, it shows it. When I look through spoilers, that's typically the way I've been doing that, and it works to me. Just shows the default version of the card. Like I go into a new set, I search for is unique, and then I don't have to look through 10,000 arts of the same card. I think Gruul Turf. I want to keep my Saga. This seems to be an affinity deck. Let's go with Saga now. Opponent might be holding up a metallic red bouquet. In which case I'll say fine and just make a construct and then Saga them. Not that they play Might though. I wonder if I should have just wasted their mana because the rebuke is kind of hard to keep for them. No guarantee they play Might though. They might not. Lavash Pur Boots. Oh, I'm spuring. I'm spuring all over. Halko. Dzwoń twoje dupowe banko. Let's make a construct. Let's be chill. I'll Boseiju the other one. Otherwise I could just lose to Rebouquet. Or be deeply annoyed by Ether Spellbomb. Opponent has one card in hand, which I think is just likely to be Rebuke. They have the Surveillant, they don't. Could be Rebuke, could just be land. This might be a bit crazy. I need a bounce land? No, a bounce land doesn't beat Rebuke even. Amuleti. So next one I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I shouldn't die. To add 12 more damage to the board would be kind of strong. Vodka's a good start. Alright, so they have land and rebuke in their hand. I'm calling that now. Seems like an easy win then. Although I have to beat Aether Spellbomb and Tormod Script, which is kinda maybe a bit challenging actually. Is it? If I get Mirrorpool and Bounce Land, I produce 6, 7, 8 mana. I have 11. Spent 5 on Mirrorpool. I have 6. So then they bounce, I replay, I lose. So it has to be Lotus Field to get 3 more. So Lotus Field produces 9. Plus 2, 11. Out of which I spent 5. Which forces the Aether Spellbomb. At which point I replay Titan and then do what? I mean, I have a type. I mean, we'll see. Burns or Spellbomb and then play Titan again, and then I can copy, or if they use their thermoscript. Seems good. Char, when you find a way to actually learn how many uniquely named Magic the Gathering cards were printed in the years between 1993 and 2000, and how many uniquely named cards were printed in the year 2024, let me know. We don't use the crypt. Good, good. So Affinity tends to play Blood Moon. It's also weak to Collector Ouphe. And 6 blocks their top tiers, I guess. Well, Otawara is also nice, I think. In games like this, you hit the constructs with Otawara. They can't stop it. Is good, is good. Is very good, chat. Magus of Demon. Well, the villain had Magus of Demon the last time, then I'm bringing the combo of Vampire's Vengeance and Collector Ouphe to the party. Consign, Force of Negation? Sometimes they bring Force of Negation. They like all of that Tormod script? What if I cut Scapeshifts? Just keep one maybe. Maybe that's a bit crazy. Does Dismember do anything? Not really if they don't play the Emery build. Alright, random sideboarding, let's go. Why Vampire's Vengeance over Pyroclasm? Because it makes a blood token and it's instant speed. This hand is really bad. I think it's too bad on the draw. Let's mulligan. Alright, I'll draw Forest. Don't want to mull to 5. Opponent capped 7. Should I run out a Saga? Could be. So I can keep a Construct Factory against Moon on turn 3. Are we casting Pinnacle Emissary? Okay. How many Thopters? One Thopter, that's it? Impressive, impressive. One of the purposes of the Red Sweeper is to help you beating Orim's Chant out of energy, which an instant speed one does slightly better than a sorcery speed one. Could get consigned. Absolutely brutal. And Ouphe would be pretty nice, just turning off all of my opponent's mana sources. Hopefully Force of Vigor keeps me alive.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Bloodman. Seeds. Plotting. Well, those are two nice targets for my Force of Vigor. Has to be Grazer. Let's go on tapped mana. Source. Nope. Sad. And Ouphe would have been pretty good. Now they're casting Kappa. Which is certainly a way to beat my Zenith. It seems like a Spelunk. And it seems like I should survive pretty easily. They could have Metallic Rebuke next turn, but clearly they didn't have it last turn. So the hope would be that they don't. Or I can just draw a land. Do I even die if they counter this? I can jump, technically survive. No nie, no weź, nie miałeś przed chwilą, kurwa. Wytapowałeś z tego gówna, zczubiłeś? Get an artifact, it's gonna kill me. Ale kurwa laker, nie? Niesamowity. Well, what can you do? Well, you could Vexing Bauble on the play. But it's kind of just hoping to have it in my opening hand, and I have a Force of Vigor in my deck as well. Sounds a bit bad. And redundant with Collector Ouphe. Countering Ornithopters. Well, it counters my own pack, it's just too bad. This 63 card version of my deck is perfect. Would you like to play fast? No, Hui. I mulligan. I keep. Ugly's opponent mulligans to 5. Deservedly so after getting lucky last game. And I have a forest, so I would only need a Boseiju to kill a moon if moon happens. And I can summon Ouphe. That's a great draw. Shouldn't be able to counter my Spelunking here. Well, I guess you can consign Spelunking, which is fine. Not a big deal. Puts my opponent down to 2 cards. Okay. We're playing nice card in Titan. Nice card in Titan. Yeah, my Titan deck is pretty nice. Not sure how to answer your question. Could be multiple consigns. Could be moon. Now what? Because I could bounce the moon. Then if I draw a bounce land or Crumbling Vestige, I can cast a Colossus. Could also bounce Spelunking. If I bounce the moon, at least I have to replay it though. Which takes their entire turn. I can draw Pamper's Vengeance as well, or Ouphe. Oh, nice. Giga skillful choice on my part. I'll bounce a bounce land. I guess I only tapped it, so I have no other choice, but still seems reasonable. If I draw a Boseiju, I can just put it into play and bounce it back this way. Force of Vigor, okay. Any Titans or anything like that? Second Forest, Amulet. Simmer. It's quite good, yeah. Could hit my opponent's mana, but let's just wait for them to deploy the moon. I attack the moon! Would have probably be better to bounce back Mirrorpool before casting Mr. Beast. No, that's hindsight. I think it is not. I think if I get this many lands, I am in a winning position anyways, and I will win 1000%, so it actually wouldn't have been good. Can you also hit Citadel here? Oh! It was destructible because of Moon. Holy shit, that's true. 2 shocks, 2 fetches of each, yes. There's few lands in the queue because I cut all of the superfluous bad lands and I just kept 2 fetches, 2 shocks and 1 shadowy backstreet. and I just see it when I build packs. So like 48 out of 52 mana-based lands play every single time. Do I play paper magic often? Not really. We cube like every 2 to 3 weeks realistically. Sometimes we get bursts of many cubes in a row. But for the most part it's a bit slow. Okay, it seems like Belcher. My draw is quite good. Twice a year together if lucky. Damn. Please don't troll. Thank you. Please don't troll. Thank you. You don't try to get them together? Yeah. Well, you have to try. Sometimes it takes a lot of trying to get a single visit, but we have like a pool of 15 people willing to play, I would say. If you have like 8 or 9 people that can come, then it's way harder. Nice. I drew GSZ, so I don't have to commit the Pact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep. Every extra person helps. Alright, we won game 1 against Belcheros. And Da Vinci saw that, so it's very nice. Of course, now I will lose the match because my opponent's deck is way better than mine, but it doesn't have to be this way. This cock is dangerous. That's gonna be a 60 free cards, which is a bit big. But sometimes it's fine. Then we all buy a pack from the store to use as price support. That's very generous of you towards the store. I guess I was on the plane, I kept 7, opponent kept 6, so that's why I won. I did not, I am playing Todd. Tell me if you win the match. Alright, I will. For sure I will. Let's have 2 Grazers, because grazing and a Saga into play on turn 1 is actually kind of relevant, kind of nice. So you know, it's gonna be a big deck, but yeah. Should I keep this? Opponent starts with 7 cards. God damn it. I guess I should. I think I will have to play turn 1 Saga though, so it's a bit not pretty, but... Dispute, okay. So I want to get Vexing Bauble on time. Thunder Trap. Found a Goblin Barchelcher. That's a nice draw. Tough choice. I thought about it a bit harder. This choice is not that tough. If I put a Saga into play next turn, I can... I don't know, actually it's pretty tough still, but... It would be good to draw a Grazer, actually. Oh, my Dr. Zeus fan? Not really. It's not really... It's not much of a thing in Poland, yeah. Oh, I don't have an amulet right now. Guess my plan crucially omitted that. I was like, yeah, it's an easy decision. I have everything in my hand. Getting Jwari disrupted is always such a kick in the nuts. And not in the good way. Not in the pleasant sense. Dawaj jeszcze kurwa rybkę, nie? W mojego Vexing Bauble i mnie zapierdol, nie? Wow. That's crazy. My hand was kinda nuts, but I just giga lows. Strameshi jeszcze, no. Just dying with Vexing Bauble, Collector Ouphe, Dispute, Dismember, Otawara, nice. Solid. This guy is the fastest Tameshi user ever. True, I agree, really fast Tameshi using. Impressive. Grazer is worse on the play. But I wonder if I still should keep a pair. Let's do that. What's day 7 cards battle for both of us? Just Giga Nuts from villain side and anti-nuts. Well, I had a good hand. I wouldn't call it nuts though, and I guess just being on a draw killed me here. I hope Da Vinci seen it. Nick might be the most prolific Tameshi player. Who's Nick? This sucks. But not in a bad way. I don't know that I'm playing Todd. I wish you good luck in your Todd game. You are OP, thank you. This hand would benefit from a Grazer. Orderly Plaza. Seems like I should make a construct. Lotus Blom. Seems like a Vexing Bauble angle. Go and play Jwari. I can't really play around Jwari this turn. I think trading for a Jwari is actually fine. Trading the Spelunking for Jwari is actually fine. You cast Mana Leak, I get it. It's understandable. Mana Leak is a good choice to cast sometimes. Tameshi is OP. Harbinger of Disease. I need a draw stop. Has just begun. Thunder Trap Trainee. Jwari Disruption. Disruption. Let's make my Vexing Bauble uncyclable. Ale unlucky, nic nie trafiłem. Przejebane. The Amulet grows my construct. Bro is actually bouncing my Vexing Bauble. No dobra, no i co? My fish on taps. Is that really what you wanted? Ty kurwo, no! Co za typ? We have Boseiju for the Lotus Bloom though, so that's fine. I am watching now, yeah, of course. Now you show up. A stop loss in my opponent's hand is not Weir plus Belcher. Tameshi doesn't do it. We don't have white. Alright, Belcheros. Draw step. That's a good draw. Why didn't you just deploy Bauble to counter Lotus? That's such a good question that I don't even know how to begin answering it. Canister. Why not win? You stupid. I exile Lotus Bloom. I pass. Should be fine. Construct and sex. That's a good duo. Just Scapeshift. Seems mostly useless. Ouphe can't attack. This has to be charmed. This goes through. This gets free blocked. No, I should actually attack with all, right? Then they block Harbinger on Ouphe, and then I Boseiju the Bercher. Then I win with Scapeshift, so they die this turn. Loses to Stifle. Yeah, which is not in the format of Modern. Because let's say that my opponent has the bounce spell for Ouphe. Loses to Sink into Stupor. Yeah, that just loses to Sink. Which I am trying not to. Because right now I can lose to Sink into Stupor into like land again. But I guess using my Boseiju first doesn't help because my opponent can use their Sink. Milled Analyst. Now, what does that do to me, for me? Seems like the answer is not much. So opponent needs to bounce this EOT. I kill Belcher, they say okay, and then they... I don't know if it matters which one I grab, I'll get the Gruul Turf. But I can't play an untapped land, they are on 2 life. So I think they are on... No, because the Harbinger stays. What am I saying? Any benefit to deploying the Analyst? I guess. Mill Otawara and Boseiju. Okay. I can cycle Dispute, cycle Lantern as well right now. And Vexing Bauble. So probably not playing Analyst was better because then I can draw Dispute and counter the Belcher. The Vinky draws Belcher here, I know. No, he draws the land, he already had the Belcher. Alright. Seems like... That seems beatable. They live though? I mean, they do. I should have cycled the Lantern if I draw a Dispute. But if I draw a Dispute, I'm fine anyways. Yeah. Why is Bloom in exile? I have Soulgate Lantern in play, which exiled it. So let's draw that Dispute. Okay, I drew Dismember. So that's also game winning because I remove my opponent's ability to block. Well, this one is way better than the 7. It was 6 lands and a Colossus, and this is Saga. Explore. It's way better. Or you can get a better one by moving to 5. Villain last seen playing Belcher. Alright, it's better. Pull back the Pacts. How good was Titan during just before MH2? I remember it being pretty good. This was the Scam meta? Yeah, Titan was pretty good into that. The Scam matchup was pretty good once the technology of Fire Spout or Storm's Wrath has been discovered. Velen took waterlogged teachings. Was Scam a thing before Grief? So you say just before MH2 time period. Alright, I read it as just before MH3, which changes things. Shit draw Grazer, number 3. In that case, Amulet was not particularly great before Urza Saga. It was pretty bad, in fact, at that time. Back then, people were playing Ponza decks as well. A bunch. Which was kind of horrible. Like main deck, 4 Blood Moons main deck, or even some Magus on top of that. And I think that was before Boseiju, right? So you just couldn't do anything. My opponent has no more interaction, doesn't kill me, and draw a Titan, I can win. Okay. Come on. One off. The 61st Colossus. Is Boseiju more important for Titan or Saga if you could only play one? And Lotus was legal? Well, Lotus, Lotus. Barely anyone was playing Lotus decks, frankly. I guess I'm not actually even playing around Counter Magic. Heliod combo meta. That was right before MH1, I think. No, it was. Yeah. Heliod Prowess, that was the meta. What a meta that was. Alright, if villain cannot interact, then I can win. No nie, kurwa, tapuję manę na jakieś gówno. Sync? Interesting. I mean, it makes plenty of sense. Seems like villain has a slow hand. What do I want to get? Can't do too much, that's great. You can Vestige, bounce land Boseiju. Sure. But I want to win. Villain has a weird in hand, so seems like they just need to weird for Belcher this game. Or draw like Belcher or Tameshi. I think a way to win is to get Mycosynth Gardens, Urza Cave, bounce lands. I think that's the easiest. But maybe the cave should be a deeps on woodland. But I think that leaves me nowhere. I need the cave. Sounds good, I guess. And if I draw a Grazer, that can get me somewhere. Tolaria West. Gówno, to mi nic nie daje. Now villain belches me. So the only move is to pretend I have Boseiju. Can get Boseiju if bounce trigger on the stack. I can get it, yeah, but I don't have anything left. Alright, seems like pretending does not scare my opponent whatsoever. Understandably so, like it would be pretty unreasonable for them to hold. Against a Boseiju, the only way is to force it. It's kind of unlucky. I think if I had a better hand, if I wouldn't mulligan to 5, but I was allowed to keep 7, then my opponent's hand was definitely in the beatable range. I just needed a few more resources. Alright, second chance for Solgide. I guess cutting Mycosynth Gardens when I want many blue sources for my dispute is not wise. So I guess I'll 65. What's the thought process behind the second Otawara in the board? It's a good card and a blue source for your disputes. It's a nice removal spell that interaction spell that you can afford to draw and it doesn't hurt you too much when you draw it because it doesn't damage your ability to make land drops. So it's very low opportunity cost to fit it. Did I ever do a science stream with Abstergo? Abstergo exiles your graveyard, so it's kind of inevitably going to end up being awkward. But it does have upsides. Maybe it is worth it, but it seems very much not so to me on its surface, so I never done that. I only ever played Abstergo and Eldrazi. This is keepable. Lotus Field is in my hand. Scapeshift is only like good when I have more resources. Passport with only one Lotus Field and it's in my hand as well, which sucks, but besides that, hand is alright. I have a dispute I can cast. Villain keeps 7. Smart. I will not dispute a 2-drop. Would prefer Otawara in my hand. Waterlogged teachings ×2. Crazy. That's a great draw, honestly. Do I like Dispute over Veil so I can counter threats? Veil is just fairly useless. Frankly. Veil matches up well against Counterspell and Flare of Denial. That's all it does. It doesn't do jack against Subtlety, Consign even. Just me or Simmer sounding like a robot. Well, let's see. Hello, hello. Test. Test. I guess a little bit. With the echo. Also counters force. Yeah, Vel can do that, but... They kept Lotus Bloom. Interesting. What does Scapeshift here even lose to? Well, I think it doesn't, so I'm going to cast it soon. Should I cast a lot? Should I play the Lotus Field first? Yeah. Should I activate the Analyst first for my graveyard? I guess so. Blair, Tameshi. Is that enough to Belcher me? Makes sense not to have played the Waterlogged Teachings then. Disrupting Shell kind of an awkward card against Titan postboard. Shoal on Dispute, okay. That is fair. I mean, kind of unfair, but... How much mana is Tameshi? I never actually can count. So, you play Tameshi. Spend the last white, return land. You have 3 mana. Play land again. You have 5 mana. So you go to 7 mana, so that's exactly enough. Crazy. 10? Well, 3 for Tameshi, 7 left over, right? So every land drop is just 3 mana. Harbingeros, dobra. Kind of annoying. No nie. Isn't every land drop 2 mana because you have to pay 1 to activate? Well, does a land add you a mana? Yes, it does. Kinda rude. No nie, no przejebane tutaj kurwa w tej grze. Co tu się dzieje?
He's a phenomenal control player.
Hey Kaniki, hope you're losing weight in a healthy manner.
Yeah, Titan, well... Titan has been dropping weight a lot in jumps. Oh, this sucks. I have to bounce Belcher and then T-West for Boseiju next turn because I'm 1 mana short. Actually, I can maybe just play the Otawara. Maybe that's better than just destroy this instantly, and then I'm more free to top deck. Or I can just get Ouphe Pay for the Pact? Not sure if that's great. Pact is in my graveyard, so I can't. Buys me like one more Joseph to bounce first, but feels kind of bad. Very nuts hand for the opponent. Belcher does have a nut ability, not draw creation ability, I guess. Thunder Trap Trainer. And even if I win this game, I'm going to lose game 3 in 2 minutes, so that's kind of rough. Flare of Daniel is my opponent's draw, and another Harbinger. Well, that sucks. Because I have to draw 2 action cards now. Urza Saga, no? Zajebiście. Top deck Titan, get it counter, top deck another one. I'm taking 5 damage per turn. Oh, is this combo Autumn? Always has been. Can't win anymore. I mean, technically I can. But I take 5, then I have to play something, go to 1, then I can't win. Oh, I draw step stop. You have Saga in play and there's Harbinger. If you remove Harbinger in your draw step, then you can evolve your Saga. Not gonna matter this situation because there's 2 Harbingers, but kind of crazy. Like my opponent just didn't waste a single card in their nut draw. All of them like were put to the best use possible. Now clench chat. We can do it. We can make top 8 on breakers. Welcome, Yellow Hat Raiders. Watch me top 8 on breakers. It's gonna be good. Breakers.